This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
What is shaking, you guys? Welcome back to the Let's Go Win podcast. I have a very energetic young man. He brings so much to the table. Nathanael Greklek is the Chief Digital Branding Leader at Mohawk Auto Group. Nathanael helps dealerships, collision centers, and salespeople brand themselves. He is passionate about leadership, culture, and branding. Nathanael, what is up, my brother? How you doing?
Man, we are rocking and rolling. I got the green screen to my left. I got people working behind me. I got my team to my right. We are crushing it right now.
I mean, that's what you do, brother. You bring a lot of energy. You're constantly, as you do content creation, you're at the dealership as we speak. But talk to me a little bit about what got you into I call it, so branding. You do such a good job of not only personal branding, but getting your dealership out there. Where did that come from, brother? Is that a generational thing, or is that something that you learned?
I definitely learned it. I mean, my degree is in criminal justice psychology, so you can definitely tell that I wasn't ready for this. I was just trucking along, and I was working actually valet, and I was also working for a for-profit giving company, and we did this video for Mohawk Honda. And the salesperson was like, hey, we're hiring these people that, they go over the car, they go over the technology, and I think you should join. I think it'd be a good idea. And I was like, oh yeah, I like technology, so why not? Let's do it. I'm in. I'll shoot that. And then so I get into Mohawk Honda, become a delivery specialist who goes over all the technologies to make sure you understand how to use your car, all that fun stuff, backup camera, Bluetooth, the works, right? Because all of our cars are just spaceships now. So you have to learn how to use it. So so I did that, and they were on Facebook, and they were on like Twitter and Instagram and different things like that. And I saw that they were they were utilizing it, but I thought I had a good idea where they could do it more efficiently and in a better way. So I was meeting up with my mentor at the time, and I was like, I really think that this would be a great job position for Mohawk. I think I could really help push the dealership and let people know like what to expect when they come in. So my mentor was like, yeah, you should just type up a job position. And, someone tells you, hey, you should probably start your own job, is like, okay. So I write the job description up, and I have my date that the GM's like, okay, yep, we'll meet down. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. And then I walk in, and I'm like, all right, I had this on my heart. I wrote down everything I think I could be doing, and I want to know what you think. And I give it to him, and then he goes, yeah, okay, sounds good. And I was like, what? That's it. That was literally I was like, yeah, it looks like a good idea. Let's try it. And I worked myself up. I was like, this is going to be so hard to try. I mean, I'm going to have to tell them, these people do it this way. These people do it this way. I was ready to go with all my stuff. And then it was like, yeah, let's do it. So 4 years later, it's not just me anymore. I have a team of 4 looking to expand. And we make content on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And that's
Well, I mean, look, that's pretty incredible. Anybody listen that's like, I think I can bring value to X. I mean, in this case, it was Mohawk Auto Group. You're like, I believe I can bring this value. And instead of not delivering, I'm glad your mentor said, hey, yeah, write it up and go for it, man. You didn't have to justify it. The group obviously said, yeah, man, I see what you're doing. So tell me what you write this thing up, and now what have you done? Because I watched you create. I think it's pretty remarkable. You seem to enjoy doing it. It seems to be so it's a win-win for everybody. So talk to us about what that means with Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What exactly are you doing? Because there's a lot of noise out there, but you're actually bringing profits in with that noise.
Right. Yeah. So what we do on a daily basis is think about the customer and what they want to know, and how we can basically show our culture, right? Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet and Mohawk Collision Center, we care about the culture and showcase that, and we like to be a part of the community. So a lot of my work right now is events and going to events and showcasing like, hey, we're here at this event, we're doing this, come and join us type of deal. But we're also going throughout the dealership. So here's a spoiler alert for anyone who's listening. We just shot, we're calling it the Fireside 5-star review. And this is for one of our salespeople called Dax Delivers. And he's literally sitting down in a chair. He's got a pipe and he's literally reading 5-star reviews. That's it. Just to showcase, my customers have had a really good experience. And yeah, so he's just sharing that with everybody, and we are helping him do that, create that content over and over again, and we'll be posting that for everyone to take a look at.
So is this just you always coming up with an idea? Are you following others and saying, oh, look, that looks pretty cool? Is it a little bit of both? Because again, myself not being huge when it comes to the social media part of things, I marvel at it. I think it's remarkable how easy you make it look. But talk to me now that it's not just Nathanael. Now we got a team of 4,
right?
And you guys have created something that's pretty, in my opinion, it's pretty cool how fast your growth has already gone. But how do you do it, man? Are you coming up with the guy sitting in the chair with a pipe, or are you watching other people do it and going, "Hey, we could do something like that too"?
Yeah. So what I do a lot of the times is I'm looking at other pages. I'm looking at other content creators. A lot of and I'll actually ask everybody else, like, what is your thought on this? What is your thought on that? And we kind of come up with things like, all right, so what do we want to push? All right, we're gonna do tires. All right, cool. So then we take that idea and then we're like, all right, so how can we, no one wants to just see, hey, look at our tires, these are cool. So we have a show called the Craig and Greg Show. And instead of saying, hey, we have these tires, it's, all right, today's show is sponsored by tires, and then how do you read your tire? So we start off with, okay, this is how you read your tire. And then we take that and this is our YouTube show currently, is the Craig and Greg Show. And these are 2 service advisors, and it is actually really funny just to watch them banter back and forth. So we do that. We do the important stuff to showcase the value, because what people want to look for when you're talking to someone from a dealership is, how much is my car worth? How do I read these tires? What tires should I get? Do I need winter tires? Do I need all season tires? So finding the value content for people to take a listen to and want them to learn, and then turning that into something fun. So here, this is how you read the tire. All right, today for our game, and you kind of segue from one side to the other side and kind of give them something that is entertaining, but also informative at the same time.
Yeah, so you're bringing the value, and you already said you want to showcase a culture. Nothing better than just grabbing 2 guys or gals that are literally working in your current occupation, your current place, and saying, hey, we're going to throw you on TV. Not paid actors, but quite literally, these are the human beings that will be reading your tires. No one better to tell you about reading your tires than that. So it's value and showcasing your culture. Is that the whole idea behind what you're typically throwing out there?
Yeah. So we always I never want to use someone outside of the dealership, because you're never going to see those people, right? I don't want a paid actor. I want the authentic person that's going to come in and they're going to see, oh, you know what? I saw Dax on that show, and I see Craig and Greg. I come in for service and they talk to me and they are awesome. And it's taking your employees and making them the hero, right? That is what I really am trying to do, is showcase everybody. So when you walk into the dealership, oh my gosh, I saw Adriana, she was in there. Oh, I see #Milta Mike. Oh, I see Hey Jude, the car dude. All these people that we have branding themselves in the dealership, I want to showcase them and showcase our culture and show the big picture, what we're trying to do as a dealership, which is be a grand part of the community as well.
Well, let's talk about that because you just labeled off a bunch of different nicknames. Hey, Jude, the car dude, I think was one that you said, and some other nicknames that went along with it. So if I walk through, because I never been to Mohawk Auto Group, the whole idea is that when I get there, I somewhat know who these people are, that it's not just a stranger walking off the street where I feel more comfortable knowing, wait a minute, I saw that guy on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, local ad. Is that the whole premise behind what you're doing?
That's exactly what we're trying to do. Make sure that people understand and know who they're coming to see before they even walk into the dealership. And that's always been my goal when I make content, is to make sure that the community knows all of these people, because we have a bunch of rock stars in there. So why not showcase them as much as possible? So that's what we're always trying to do.
So when you bring this idea, it's one person, but obviously there's some tangible results that took place. Otherwise, we wouldn't grow it to now. Is it a team of 5, you and 4 others, you said, or is it you?
We're looking to hire another one right now. I have 2 editors. I have one person who stays at Honda, and we did have another social media person. So we're looking for another one right now. So we're currently in the works of actively looking through resumes and hiring somebody. So I will have 5 people on this team.
Awesome. So, but any dealership or any business for that matter, there's a reason they're adding to that team. You're showing results. So let's talk about that, man. It always sounds good. Great. Get your content out there. You don't know what's going to go viral. You hear this stuff all the time, but what are some tangible results that you've been able to bring to Mohawk? Because I think that's what people want to hear is like, I did X, or we as a team did X. This produced Y. This is why we continue to grow the team.
Yeah, so that's a good question. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that is something that people ask me from what I'm on Clubhouse. I'm on all these things that people are asking me. So why would they invest? I mean, we probably have about $20,000 worth of equipment invested into this group. Well, I can tell you off the bat, you never have to pay for another company to come in and make your commercials. You never have to worry what kind of value you can add to the charities that you want to do. So one of the things that we've found that we provide for charities outside of our organization is the ability to create an interview style video that allows them to showcase the charity. So right there, you're able to write that off as a business expense, but you're also using that to collaborate with the community, reducing your ad spend, which obviously is the main point for having a social media at the end of the day, is to reduce the amount of dollars of advertising dollars that you have to spend. So we've been able to drastically reduce that because we always have somebody at an event that we've sponsored. People know where we are, who we are, what we're doing, and we're making an impact. So for instance, I will just give one example that we're currently doing right now. It ends September 13th. CBS 6 News, which is a local station here, called us up and said, hey, we know you guys do a really good job with social media. We want to partner with you because we know how much of a community partner you are as well. We want to do a drive where you do school supplies and different things like that. So like, yeah, obviously we have the funds, we have the means, we're going to do as much as we can. We're going to raise as much buzz as we can. And now we have 2 videos made for them. We have a bunch of pictures that we shot of our employees. Our employees are going live on their Facebook pages to talk about, hey, I'm here. Come on in, drop some stuff off for these kids that are less fortunate than us. We're blessed. And it is just astronomical, the amount of reach you get. And honestly, there are some things you just can't measure, right? I can't go to every single person's Facebook page and see how many likes or views they get. But when I have people coming in over and over again, talking about the video that we created for this charity, and when I help salespeople brand themselves, when they tell me that their mailbox, their messenger is full, they haven't been able to get to all the people that are in their messenger box. For me, that's a win, right? I mean, that's that at the end of the game, we want people to come into the dealership to realize that we are the experts in our field and that they can trust us no matter what's going on.
Well, I mean, look, I heard brand recognition, I heard tax write-offs, I heard cost cutting, I heard, obviously community recognizing who you are, what you all are doing. But I know there's some examples of specific sales people that have done well. And if I'm not mistaken, when I saw you speak, I thought it was Hey Jude, the car dude, excuse me.
That's it.
That was, yeah. And it was pretty remarkable. Can you talk about some of the things that they've been able to do by doing some of the social media, by personally branding, what that looks like? Because if I'm listening, it's like, cool, I love having all those other things, but I want to increase my sales. What has Jude or some of your other salespeople been able to do by doing some of the personal branding that you guys have supported them with?
I mean, so I have so many examples. I'll stick to a few. We have hashtag Milk Dug Mike. That's his hashtag, and he like gives out milk duds. So it's a remember me item with his logo on there. He's got t-shirts, he has mugs. Trust Trav, he has a banner behind him. And whenever he does a delivery, he takes a picture, and now everybody sees that. So we do delivery pictures every day. So that's another thing too. So he has that in all of his pictures. They all have a logo. So they put that wherever they're going. Jude is actively working in the epilepsy community, and he has a link tree that I helped him create. He has a QR code that people scan, they can follow him. But the amount of reach in their community, because they have this hashtag, is that people can search them very easily, and it allows them to see who they are. And like, instead of saying, here's my business card, say, hey, go up on Google and say, type in hashtag Jude the Car Dude and see who I actually am. I know this meeting is short or whatever. Just take a look, tell me what you think. And here's my number. So those are just a few actionable items that they've taken using their logo, using the hashtag that they have decided to use. I hope that helps anyone.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, I don't know exactly what hashtags do. I mean, I have a basic idea, but you clearly have that. And that's where my next question is. What are some basic tenets? If I'm sitting here listening and I'm not super active on social media, but I know that, look, I know the importance of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok to grow my audience, to have brand recognition. What are some of the basic tenets that they should be doing on a daily basis or on a weekly basis? Maybe that's a better way to look at it. How many videos should be being done? Is there a certain, length of time? What are some of the things that you're finding to be successful in this market?
So it's funny you asked that, because I hold a branding Facebook Live, and I do all of these acronyms, and I kind of break down, which at the end of this, I have one for win for you. But I typed in hashtag Let's Go Win into Google, and let's see, the first thing that comes up is, it looks like your book, to be honest. It looks like Let's Go Win. Yeah, it's you, right? That's your hashtag. That's your brand that you have. So if you have a brand and you just say, hey, type in hashtag Let's Go Win, and you can check out and see what's going on. For me, it's I'm telling Jude, hey Jude the Car Dude, to tell all of his customers to say, hey, check out Hey Jude the Car Dude. For Dax, it's hashtag Dax Delivers. It's all of these small little things that someone can take and literally just throw in their phone. It makes you Googleable.
Got it.
So that's one thing I would highly encourage, is for someone to find out the hashtag that they can kind of populate themselves. So if you just go into Google and type in hashtag what you want to say, check and see how many results pop up out of that. If there's not a lot, take that hashtag and run with it and build that population over time.
So it sounds like consistently, though, you are reinforcing this. So when you do a post, whether it's on any of those three major social media accounts, you're saying, make sure you include this hashtag. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. So what happens is you throw that hashtag in there, and now if someone types into Google that hashtag, or even on Facebook or wherever you are, obviously Instagram is a really big one. typing in that hashtag, but hashtags in Instagram actually do other things. But taking that one hashtag and keeping that in there when you want to use it as, validation of what you're able to do, that's going to be very important.
So I want to talk about you love talking about building company culture. And I want to go back 5 years before you even started doing the social media presence for the dealership group. I'm guessing there has to be a bit of resistance. I'm just a guess to putting a camera in somebody's face and saying, all right, man, we're going to film you and we're going to put you everywhere.
There still is resistance.
Okay. So you do encounter this. I want to understand, because part of your company culture is clearly putting ourselves out there, showcasing who we are. This is how we show up on a daily basis. How do you get the team on board? Is it a cultural value that you talk about? Is this something frequently talked about at the meetings? Because I know I've seen it at other companies where it's like, no, don't put the camera in front of my face, but you don't seem to be having that, or at least I don't see it from the outside.
So it honestly, it comes down to the owners and the managers are really my go-to people when trying to push the culture. But in terms of getting so for us at a car dealership, it's finding people within the sales staff to kind of be my pioneers for content creation. So what happens is when, for instance, we just started Mohawk Chevrolet. We just bought it back 2 years ago, and I came in to help out. And I have my person at Mohawk Honda who does a phenomenal job, but moving on, we all have to find our successor, right? So when I came into Mohawk Chevrolet, it's a similar concept. The atmosphere wasn't built yet. The culture wasn't, and the culture's still not built. It's not even, there's still people at Honda that give me a slack for trying to get them into a video. There's people here that give me slack, but I find the people that are actively engaged with making content, and I use them and project them to an upper level and give them more resources and give them what they need and kind of push them more into that. So push them more into what they're trying to accomplish. And then what happens is you tend to see, oh, that looks really cool. Oh, he's doing that. I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. And then you kind of create the rolling motion, the domino effect, as we like to call it. So finding that one person and kind of jumping in all the way, and then other people start to follow, and then you help them, and then you help another person, and then you help another person until, eventually we'll have all of the staff looking to seeing the overall success of the salespeople and how many people they're bringing in.
Well, and I want to talk about, because again, some of us, it would be overwhelming. Like, man, I always have a camera in my face. And so if I'm walking around, Nathanael, for a day, is it quite literally of the, 16 hours you work or 12 hours you work that day, is 11 of it with a camera in the face? Or are you just being aware, being cognizant of making sure, I want to get this? And again, I know this is your occupation, it's what you do, but for those of us trying to build our own brand, how much time should we be committing to this on a daily basis?
All right. So, I'm finding myself less and less. I stay aware, but as we hire more people, obviously my responsibilities become more of training and showing people what I do. So for the person who's just trying to get their feet wet into the whole thing of content creation, this right here will be your best friend. Your iPhone, whatever, you have an Android phone, your phone is going to be your best friend. And I would have you literally start with creating Facebook and Instagram stories. That's it right now. And then taking pictures when you see really good pictures. But the Facebook stories are really cool in the fact that you get to see everyday life and make people interested in what you do. Right. So I would start with stories. And then for salespeople, if any salesperson, it doesn't matter what type of industry you're in, whenever you make a sale, get a picture with that person, and then congratulate them on your Facebook page. So that's an easy one. And even for any business, maybe you have, let's see, give me a business. Let's see if we can help somebody out here.
Let's see here. I'll do an easy one. Something I used to be in, financial service. You're helping a client with, I don't know, an annuity.
Beautiful.
For say
Financial services. Oh my gosh. We could go for hours talking about content. So you as a professional do it every day, right? As a financial person, you help someone every day build their portfolio or whatever it is you're an expert at, right? Well, think of how many questions you get over and over and over and over again, and tell somebody in a video how to tell them that. Tell them, make it so easy for them not to come into your store, because when they actually need you, that's when they'll call you. And that's when you'll actually make the sale, because you need to build value. And I think that's a lot of it's a lot of people don't want to do. You know, when I first started, I was like, hey, we should really show someone how to do an oil change. And like, why? We sell oil changes. I'm like, well, if we show them how to do the oil change, eventually they're going to be like, well, I don't want to do this oil change anymore. Or you show them how do you change out an engine, or for service, at least, this is how we kind of look at things. Like, show them how to change their tires, show them how we put tire rims on and tire rims off, show them the process of actually aligning your car. Like, what does it take to maintenance your car properly? Because chances are, when you start to tell people exactly what you do and how you do it, you might get those few people who actually want to try it, right? Okay, cool. But the majority of the people don't want to do that. Yeah.
Look, I'm watching the guys behind you right now. Cars coming in and out, and it's like, no, dude, I have no chance doing any of that. I already know that. But for the guy that's like, oh, I used to change my oil, there's a lot more to it. The cars are not the way they used to be.
Right.
You can screw up a very expensive, nice, luxury item, or
Exactly.
your vehicle. So why even put yourself to that? I want to shift gears just for a moment, because I know leadership is important to you. What does leadership mean to you, brother? And I'll start there, and we'll expand.
Oh man. So as you can tell, like, even in my my title is Chief Digital Branding Leader. It's not manager, it's not director, it's not coordinator, because for me, leading always shows before it says, right? In order for me to have the biggest impact on somebody's life, I have to be able to say, look, this is what I did. This is how I'm doing it. Here, try it out for yourself. See what you're getting as a result. And maybe we have to change something, maybe we don't, but this is what I've tried. This is how I've been doing it. And that's, for me, leadership is huge, because leaders, I think there's such a wrong perspective about leadership. And especially in the automotive industry, you have your business managers, you have normal managers, service managers. What if we call them all leaders? What if we call them a business leader? What if we call them general sales leader, parts leader? All the words mean something. It's not just, a lot of people say, well, it's just words. Well, if you're a Christian like I am, the world was built with words. And there's a lot of hurt that you can do by the words that you speak to anybody you talk to. So leadership is not just saying you're going to do something, but showing them how you did it and how they can get there and be better than you. Like, becoming a leader, it means you need to show that person how they can beat you at your own craft.
Yeah, and you mentioned the leaders that support what you do today, both hiring you and now supporting as you try to continue to increase your initiative. All of that falls on leadership. It sounds like they are the ones that are going to back you up. And it sounds like you are in a very solid leadership group, because they have backed your play, it sounds like, the entire way through, which that is uncommon in most industries.
Yeah, I mean, the leadership here, is incredible, to the point where we are now in leadership classes. We've hired somebody in-house that teaches us adaptive leadership. Like, that's what we're doing. We're learning how to become proper leaders to actually right here, I'll show you. This is one of the books we're reading currently, Leading with Dignity. How do you lead while giving the person the dignity they deserve? And even though it might be a really tough conversation, you have to have it, but you can still go into these things. You can still go into these situations and be a leader with dignity. So leadership is huge here. And they are some of the best leaders that I've seen. And being able to be here in this auto group has been life-changing.
So is that everybody in the dealership is going through that? Is it specific managers?
People who lead people.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love to see that, because again, that's been a big part of my businesses forever, whether you call it a book club or whatever you want to call it, where you're learning something new, you're now going to apply it and then reflect on how it worked. One of the things you also bring to the table, Nathanael, that I think people can learn from is you have a dynamic personality, is certainly a lot of energy, brother. Is that just something, look, I was born with coffee in my veins, or you actually have a concerted effort to make sure you bring that energy all the time?
So I want to preface this with yes, I come with a lot of energy, and I stay cognizant and aware of it. And it's not something that I'm forced myself to do. I was born, thankfully, with this, but where I get my energy from is realizing that every day, every hour, every minute, every second is special. At 11 months old, I had open heart surgery. I could have died on the operating table. I was supposed to have open heart surgery at 6 months old, but I had an ear infection. So me almost dying on the operating table kind of gives me grace, and realizing that God has placed me on this earth for some reason to help somebody. And I live by HOPE, help one person every day. And it's an acronym that I live by all the time. Every day I wake up and see how I can help one person and bring positive energy, because I am been so blessed with wherever I've been. And I didn't grow up rich. I grew up probably right on the poverty line to middle class line. I enjoyed the hustle too. I was out on the corner selling these freezy pops and lemonade stands and anything that I could do. But I always had a fun notion of realizing that, I had open heart surgery. Like, I have this big scar on my chest. Like, where did that come from? You had it when you're 11 months old, and just knowing that and being gracious and having that gratitude of knowing that every day is special and God has given me breath. So I need to make it the best I can be every day.
Well, it's completely infectious, brother. I will tell you, you definitely, again, people, when they see it, they want to be around it. It's definitely an admirable quality that you have. And maybe that's the next question I have, is just, you seem to derive a lot of self-confidence, not in an arrogant way at all, but rather, I know who I am. I feel extremely solid in who I am, and therefore I can celebrate life. I can wear the bow tie when I saw you. I can be out dancing in my suit.
I almost wore that today.
I mean, it's a solid play. But where does that come from, man? Is that something that you've worked on? Is that something that again, you seem to be a man of faith, and maybe that's where that is coming from. But I think anybody listening, if they were around you, they want some of that, man. Whatever you're having, give me some of that too. It's
knowing that you have purpose, that you're on this earth for a reason. And even though we may not know what it is, you have to influence the people around you, and you have to help others around you get to where you are. And for me, it's knowing that I'm saved. Like, my purpose on earth is to be the best person I can be and showcase the love of God, right? Be salt and light to the earth, to be the person that people seeing like, man, how does he have that? Well, it's being having that sense of gratitude of, I was dead in my sins. Jesus died for my salvation, died for my sins, made me clean. And now I can live in this freedom of living for him every day because he was so gracious enough to me, and I can be so gracious to other people and be empathetic and know where they're coming from and just be there to be a support any way I can, because that is who God is for us as a Christian. You have that sense of, I always have someone here with me no matter what it is. And having that sense and passion of like, man, it gets me up, it gets me fired. I'm like, it's so happy. I'm just like, love being around people too, because people are amazing. No matter what you think, people have different opinions, but I love being around people and just being there and learning, because I think that's one thing that people have a problem with. As a human society, we get into our own focus lane and we don't realize that we can learn from everybody. Doesn't matter if they have a different perspective than you, doesn't matter who they are, you can learn even from the most evil of people. Like, you can learn from somebody, and you have to treat them because you never know what they're going through. And that's another reason too. Is, I mean, so much to be grateful for, to be able to give energy is just incredible.
Well, you definitely give it out, man. And again, those that, if you don't get a chance to meet Nathanael in person, check out what he does on social media, because you want what he's having. I'm telling you guys, some people celebrate life. This guy takes it to that next level. So before I ask my next question, this is a selfish one. You said you had one for WIN. Did you have an acronym I need to hear, brother?
I do. So for anyone who doesn't know, I hold a podcast / clubhouse every Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And it's called Building Brand Legends. And always comes to my mind, if you ever listen to Sandlot, heroes get remembered, but legends never die, right? So it just so happened, like, I was doing this and someone goes, dude, you've been doing these acronyms, you should just stay with this. So I come up with acronyms. So for WIN, I came up with one as I was thinking about it. Honestly, I guess apparently my brain has been thinking about this all week. I fell asleep. I woke up. The first thing I thought about this morning was WIN. And I was like, oh, well, I got to write this down before I forget. So the first word that I have for the W, so it'd be WIN. The first would be withhold nothing. So give 110% with whatever you're doing all the time, and go after it, right? So withhold nothing. That's what that's going to be. I is intentional action. So when you have your vision, when you have your goals, you have to make sure you wake up every single day and have intentional action to that purpose, to that vision, so you can get to where you want to be and help those around you get to where they want to be. And then N, never quit. So there you go, man. There is your acronym for WIN. Never quit. Obviously, you always succeed because you're never going to let go of where you're trying to get. So never quit and make it happen.
Oh, brother, that's a gift to me, and thank you. And don't stop with the acronyms. That's really, really profound. And it's 6 letters. I mean, it's WIN into 6 letters, or excuse me, 6 words. I can do that, man. I can remember that. I kind of want to give you just an open forum. Anything I didn't ask you that you're like, man, I just got to share this with the audience before we end up, because you do bring so much to the table. I could ask you about all sorts of things, but I'll give you the opportunity. What do you want to say to the audience before we start to wrap up?
If I was going to stand on top of a pillar or top of a mountain and everyone's listening to me, I would just say, you have purpose in your life, that you can help somebody no matter where they're at. And the God that made everything, God of the universe, says he loves you and that he is actively chasing after you, and all you have to do is accept it. And you can live in the gratitude of knowing that you are free from your sin, from bondage. And like, it's just the knowledge of knowing that someone paid the ultimate sacrifice for you. They laid down their life for you because they loved you so much that they did that. And I like to put this into perspective for people, because sometimes, that's, for some people, that's like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's blah, blah, blah. Just think about if you were on trial for a death penalty case, and you are the person on that trial, you are the person that's being accused, and the jury finds you guilty, the judge says, yes, you're guilty, but I'm going to set you free. I'm going to take your punishment. So that judge dies for you and takes that punishment, even though you are guilty.
It's pretty radical perspective, man. And it's something that we should all hold near and dear to us, brother. You light up a room every time you come in, and you definitely made my day brighter. Where can people connect with you online so they can see what you're doing, both on the branding perspective, social media, and if nothing else, just like I said, get a little more Nathanael in their life?
So they can find me on Facebook, my @sign. I haven't changed it yet. I think I might go Nathanael G, but for now it is Nerdy Nate with a 3, just because I love my glasses and my bow tie. So Nerdy Nate on Facebook. Type in Nathanael with an A, not an I, and that will pop up. On Instagram, I'm N_Greklek. TikTok, I do have a TikTok. Haven't posted enough videos that to my liking yet, but N_Greklek, and then Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevrolet, Mohawk Collision on all the different platforms, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us everywhere.
Guys, if you haven't had a chance to run across this kid, this guy, this man, he is really incredible. He does brighten your day. And I promise you will get value. So go check him out for sure. Nathanael, I appreciate it, brother. As always, you brought exactly what I thought, which is a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge, and just a lot of love.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I guess I would have one question for you.
Sure.
Was this a win?
Oh, brother, this was a big win. I didn't withhold anything. You didn't. This was definitely intentional action, and I don't want to quit. We're coming up a time, and that's all that's the quitting part. So yeah,
well,
brother,
I'll definitely have you on. I definitely, you know what? I will give this acronym to you, and now you are going to have to come into my clubhouse and on my podcast, and I want you to come up with a scenario with how we can let's go win, WIN. How's that sound?
Done. I'm in, brother. You tell me when and where. I will be there, and I look forward to it. Thank you, brother. I know you're busy, and I certainly appreciate your time. So thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate everyone listening to this podcast. Make sure you subscribe and like what JM is doing. He is out there teaching leaders and teaching people how to go win. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button already if you haven't already.
See, he's better than I am at doing promotions, guys. See how much you can learn from this?
I love it. I love promoting people. It is one of my greatest joys in life, getting people to where they want to be.
You're good, brother. You're good. Well, you guys, again, you can't help but smile. Look, if you're watching him on YouTube right now, you're smiling because he's got that dynamic smile, lights up a room. If you can feel the energy, it's just someone you want to have in your life. Go check him out, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Until next time, continue transcending life. And remember, your mindset matters. We'll talk to you then. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.